still believes the American dream. To his last breath, he'll always be a soldier.
Heard on great radio stations all across America. It's the National Defense with Randy Miller and Jerry Newberry.
The National Defense is made possible by Ford, Go Further, by the Home Depot, more saving, more doing, by ADT Security, more than just a line in the sand, by VSP. For more information on how VSP can help you with your corrective vision needs, visit their website at VSP.com. By Morgan Stanley. Discover how they can help you reach your long-term financial goals at morganstanley.com. By the Wounded Warrior Project, serving those who sacrificed for over 15 years. Find them online at woundedwarriorproject.org. By WD-40 Company. Wherever there's a job to be done, WD-40 brand offers solutions with WD-40 multi-use product and WD-40 specialist products to help you live life hands-on. And by Farmers Insurance. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com.
This is the National Defense. Randy Miller along with Jerry Newberry. As always, our dedication.
Hey, this show's for you, the men and women serving on active duty in the Guard and Reserves. It's for the millions of veterans out there, and it's for all their families. We're here for you. We love you. God bless you.
Our great new partnership with WD-40 is fantastic. Gary Ridge is with us, the president, CEO, and director of WD-40 is here. Gary, how are you?
G'day, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Okay, so the first thing that people may not know about WD-40 is that it's helmed by an Aussie.
Well, I'm just the CEO. How about that? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay.
And now you said you started with WD-40 in Australia, right?
I did. In 1987, I started, and I was heading up our operation in Asia Pacific. And in 1994, I moved to the U.S. And then in 1997, I got the opportunity to lead this wonderful tribe, as we call them, that the people who get up every day and help us create these memories around the world.
You know, it's amazing. WD-40 has been around for, 65 years now?
Yesterday was our birthday.
Oh, wow.
It was developed on September 23, 1953 in San Diego. The company back then was called Rocket Chemical Company, and there were two chemists who mixed this stuff up. They tried to get the formula right 39 times. They didn't get it right. On the 40th try, they got it right. That's why it's called WD, water displacement 40th formula. And the reason they were developing it was to be able to stop condensation and corrosion in the umbilical cord of the Atlas space program. So WD-40 came out of the space program.
Wow. Oh, that's fascinating. And the other fascinating part to this story is that this formula has never been patented.
Correct. In fact, just last week, I had our friends from Brink Security come over, and they helped us transport the secret formula from one vault to a new vault that's closer to our office. And we've never patented the formula. It's a trade secret. So there are very few people in the world who know the full formula. Of course, some people know elements of it, and our regulatory folks, of course, know it all because, you know, we want to make sure that we have a product that's doing what it's supposed to do. Sure. And is in line with all the regulatory needs. So if anybody said they have the WD-40 formula, they don't have it.
I mean, this is under lock and key. This is more locked up than the 7 herbs and spices of KFC.
Probably so.
That is fascinating. And, you know, everybody's got WD-40, and I thought it would be 5 out of 5, but you say WD-40 multi-use product can be found in 4 out of 5 American households.
That's true, but, you know, what's really great is not everybody does know it because we have been busy the last 20 years taking the blue and yellow can with the little red top that was born in San Diego 65 years ago to the world. And now 65% of our revenue comes from places outside of the United States. You know, there's lots of squeaks in China and lots of rust in Russia, and we're just the boys and girls to fix that. So our tribe's been busy making that can famous around the world. We now have it in 176 countries around the world.
Wow.
And wherever you go, it looks the same. The blue and yellow can with that little red top.
So, Gary, when you get the opportunity to become president and CEO of WD-40, that's a pretty daunting responsibility. I mean, you've got this juggernaut that's been around for this many years. Did you ever say, what if I screw it up?
Well, yeah, I did. I'm lucky because I'm consciously incompetent. So I was able to surround myself with a whole bunch of smart people, and they're really the ones that go out every day and do the wonderful things they do. But certainly, yes, it's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And, for us, it's all about our people. We're a company that is really focused on values, on doing the right thing, creating positive, lasting memories. And we know we have a precious brand, and that's why our great people take care of that brand every day. One thing that's great about WD-40 is that it's an honest product. It does what it says it's going to do. And we've got to make sure we continue to respect that and deliver above expectation performance to our end users at extremely good value.
Well, and we're talking to Gary Ridge, the president, CEO, and director of WD-40 here in the National Defense. And the other thing that it goes further than that, though, I think, Gary, I think people take great pride in finding new uses every day for WD-40. I mean, I got buddies of mine that will tell me, guess what, we were trying to do something and we figured WD-40 might, help. And so even, there's a list of things that it's supposed to do, but even over and above that, people love coming up with different uses for WD-40.
That is so true. And, we have on our website at WD40company.com a list of 2,000 of the most popular uses, and they all came from people that shared their uses with us back in the year 2000, and we had hundreds of thousands of people tell us what their favorite use was. But, one of the other things that you probably don't know, and it touches my heart, is back during the time of the Vietnam War, WD-40 was used to maintain guns and equipment, and we used to send that product over. And in fact, in our offices in San Diego, we have a beautiful letter that was written to us by one of the great service people who shared with us how WD-40 just helped them so much in that period of time because there was a lot of moisture and a lot of rust in Vietnam. And they actually sent the person actually sent us one of their medals. So we have it framed and proudly on display in our offices because, the folks that you talk to every day who just do wonderful things for the world, not just the country, are some of our most loyal users. And we're so proud that they use our product.
Well, and that's what makes this such a great association is the fact that, veterans, active duty military, folks that are engaged in the military, they're very resourceful. They're the original DIYers. And so they like to get things done, like to get their hands dirty. And you guys, when you talk about WD-40, DIY now is such a common term and a common phrase. But, man, you guys were way before that craze hit.
Yeah, that's true. And just this weekend, I was at our national meeting, and one of our great guys is a just retired service guy who actually has a Purple Heart. And I was talking to him about his work, and again, we've got a number of veterans in our tribe that we're very proud of. And what we love about them is, the services are such a values-driven group. And they come to us, and they love coming to us because we're such a values-driven group, and there's a purpose, and that's great too. And
it's real. It's real, and it's authentic, and like you say, it's very honest. Let's talk about a couple of new things now that, not brand new things, but things that have been done. I think in 2005, the Smart Straw was introduced.
Yeah, that's a great innovation. Smart Straw was there to solve that. Probably only negative complaint we got is, what do I do when I lose that blah, blah, blah red straw? So,
exactly.
So we integrated the red straw into the delivery system. So when in its down position, it looks a bit like an elephant's trunk. If in its down position, it sprays out of the normal nozzle in a wide spray. Then you lift the red straw up and it clicks into place, and it only sprays out of the red tube. The other one that we just released last year is just fabulous. We took that concept and we then put an 8-inch metal flexible straw onto our delivery system. So now, if you've got to get WD-40 to a hard-to-get place that maybe is a bolt behind an exhaust pipe that's hard to get,
right.
You actually bend the straw, and you can actually direct the spray right to that nut. So that's called Easy Reach, and that's available widely in the United States now. We're getting rave reviews about that.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Is there anybody in the world that does not know about WD-40?
Thank goodness, yes, because that means we've got new users that we can... Right now, the sun never sets on WD-40, so right now, somewhere in the world, someone is meeting the blue and yellow can for the very first time.
I just took a quick inventory around my garage before I left this morning, and at last count, I had 6 cans of WD-40, one with the Easy Straw, and I would imagine that's pretty much a fair assessment of everybody in America's situation with WD-40. But it's got to be it's got to be a point of pride, Gary, for you to be heading this company that is so well known, that does its job every single day and continues to innovate.
Absolutely, it's something that we don't take for granted, and we're grateful for the opportunity, and we love helping people solve problems and creating memories.
So now, if people want to find out about more information on WD-40, where's the best place for them to go?
www.wd40.com is our website, and you can get everything you need to know there, and the 2,000 uses is on that site as well. So we'd love people to drop on in and take a look at what we have.
And before we go, give me the most unusual way that WD-40 has ever been used that you know about.
That I can talk about?
Yes.
That I can talk about on radio.
Right. Right.
I think one of them that's really interesting is in Hong Kong, there was a python snake caught in the undercarriage of a public bus, and they sprayed some WD-40 in the undercarriage, and that snake jumped out and off it went into the jungle. So I think that's an interesting one.
Gary, listen, thank you so much for the time today. President, CEO, and director of WD-40. Thank you guys for being a part of the program, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you. Been a pleasure.
Thanks, Gary. We'll be right back here on the National Defense. We'll be right back on the National Defense right after this word from Farmers Insurance. When you're dealing with life's ups and downs, it helps to know the ins and outs of insurance. Farmers Insurance has been sharing practical insurance knowledge for more than 89 years. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hi, this is Kelsey Grammer. When military service members head into battle, none are expected to face the enemy alone, but many return home and become isolated as they struggle with the visible and invisible wounds of war. It can be difficult knowing how to overcome that challenge and rekindle bonds similar to those formed in the military. Wounded Warrior Project supports these injured veterans through their recoveries by connecting them with fellow warriors and their communities. No one should fight this battle alone. Join us at woundedwarriorproject.org.
2 things to remember about smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. 1, replace them every 10 years. And 2, come to the Home Depot to do it. Right now, the Kiddo Worry-Free 10-year smoke alarm is only $29.97. That's 10 years worth of worry-free protection for under $3 a year. So here's one more thing to remember. Toss at 10, then start again. With the Kiddo Smoke Alarm, just $29.97. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
By the end of the day at this USO stuffing party, volunteers will have sent over 10,000 USO care packages on their way to our troops around the world. Full of little things that make all the difference and carry an enormous message to our troops. Little things. We're all about the little things. We're the USO. So are you. The USO until everyone comes home. Visit us at USO.org.
We're standing guard with the truth. The National Defense.
Welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller. Time now for another Morgan Stanley Money Brief. And we have Brent Crouch, a financial advisor for Morgan Stanley, back with us again this week. Last week, we kicked off a discussion about life insurance with your eye-opening personal story this week, let's build on the considerations you laid out last week. Could you kind of refresh our listeners?
Yeah, of course. It starts with confronting the unexpected and thinking about who you want to protect when you're no longer around. The next step is really to figure out how much life insurance you need. And finally, what kinds of life insurance will meet your needs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So how do you figure out how much you need?
The simplest way is how much do you earn each year after taxes? You could try to add up base pay, allowances, special duty pay, etc. Sometimes it's just easier to take a look at how much hits your account each month. If you have $2,500 going into your account each month, then you may need to replace about $30,000 a year.
And I'm assuming if that's just 1 year, then the total amount you may need to replace is higher, right?
That's right. You need to decide how many years you are replacing that income for. Maybe you decide 10 years is the right number to give your dependents time to transition and replace that income. Now it becomes $30,000 a year for 10 years. So we're talking about replacing $300,000 total.
Wow, $300,000 for 10 years. Okay, so now we have an amount. What kind of life insurance should I look at?
Well, if your main concern is protecting your family really against the loss of income, then term insurance is worth taking a look at. It is one type of life insurance policy that provides coverage for a certain period of time or a specified term of years. If the insured dies during the time period specified in the policy and the policy is active, then a death benefit will be paid.
Okay, so if I buy a 20-year term policy for $300,000 in coverage, as long as I pay the premiums each year and I die within that 20-year term, my family would get the $300,000?
You've got it. You've helped protect your family from a potential catastrophic event. And keep in mind, this is just one scenario and one type of life insurance. There are many types out there.
Well, Brent, walking through an example like that is a great way to get to think through this kind of decision, especially for our listeners who may shy away from a complex subject like life insurance.
I'm glad to hear that. All of your listeners need to remember is the three-step process. First, ask yourself whether you even need insurance in the first place. Think about who is counting on you financially. Second, figure out how much income you need to replace. And third, decide what type of insurance you need.
Well, you make it sound so easy, but that last decision point doesn't seem so easy.
Fair enough. And this is a good time to remind your listeners to do some homework on different types of life insurance out there. And more importantly, find a trusted financial advisor to work with. Everyone's needs are different, so it's helpful to have a professional help you walk through your life insurance options.
Yeah, Brent, that's a great reminder. Brent, thanks for being here. We'll be back here next week with another Morgan Stanley Money Brief right here on the National Defense.
This radio program does not provide individually tailored advice. It has been prepared without regard to the individual financial circumstances, risk tolerance, and investment objectives of the persons who receive it. The strategies discussed may not be suitable for all individuals. Morgan Stanley recommends that individuals independently evaluate particular strategies and encourages them to seek the advice of a financial advisor. The appropriateness of a particular strategy will depend on individual circumstances and objectives. Insurance products are offered in conjunction with Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC's licensed insurance agency affiliates. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC. Did you know WD-40 Company has a product to get the trusted WD-40 formula into hard-to-reach places? WD-40 Easy Reach has a permanently attached 8-inch flexible straw that makes it easy to keep equipment working properly by bending around parts and getting into tight spots to lubricate and prevent rust. Pick up a can at Walmart, Home Depot, or AutoZone and learn more about this and other WD-40 brand products at WD-40.com.
Welcome to F-150 Radio, the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. Dean, go.
I'm all about lowering the bar, like I only brush my teeth on Monday.
The new Ford F-150 lineup raises the bar by being number one in towing, payload, and torque. It can make you more capable.
Capable, schmapable.
The new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
When properly configured, Plaza's full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVW are based on Ford segmentation.
Home is not just something you can see or touch. Home is a feeling. It's the place where you feel safe to have those little moments that mean everything. At ADT, we believe that feeling should always be there. Whether it's at your house or your business, we help keep you safe so you can have those moments that make you feel at home. Wherever you are.
50 years ago, We built up to this war for some time.
They served a country.
You just really wanted to do what you could, help win the war and get out of there.
That wanted to forget them.
You know, war's not easy, war's not kind, hurts a lot of people.
The time has come to remember. Remembering Vietnam, a National Archives 50th Anniversary exhibit and initiative. Learn more at archivesfoundation.org.
Welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller and Jerry Newberry. And, Jerry, it's something we talk about, from time to time on the show, but it's something that just makes my blood boil.
Yeah, and actually, we've talked about this for a long time.
Yeah, and, it's one thing to not appreciate veterans, but when you pray...
When you rip them off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's horrible.
There's a special place in hell for people
exactly.
to do that.
And military veteran scams, that kind of thing. Here to talk to us about it on the show is Carol Cando Pineda. She's a consumer education specialist in the Bureau of Consumer Protection's Division of Consumer and Business Education. Carol, how are you?
I'm doing very well today. Thank you.
Does that make your blood boil? I mean, it's just incomprehensible.
Yes, it does. I've been in the consumer protection field for a long time. I've been an attorney with the FTC for over 25 years now and doing this consumer education work for about 15. And it never ceases to amaze me the lengths that people will go to rip other people off and that they're preying on people that we should be honoring.
Right. Absolutely.
And here's another chapter in this is the type of people that are preyed upon. Most donors to these different organizations, they're small dollar donors. $1 here, $5, $10. They don't have a lot of disposable income.
Yep.
Most of them are seniors, and that's why.
Yep.
So not only are they ripping off our military, they're ripping off seniors, probably the most vulnerable group in society.
Right. And, every consumer should be able to direct their money where they want it to go when they're making a donation. And so, we just really advise people to, stay on their toes and do as much research as possible and maybe even come up with a plan for the year about the organizations that you want to donate to and figure out how much money that you have to work with and plan it out so that if somebody calls and knocks you off balance and tries to get you to believe that you already donated to them or they're looking for more money from you, that you already know you had your plan you gave, you can say thanks but no thanks and be done with it.
We've heard a lot of numbers bandied about through the years, such as the number of charitable veterans organizations that now exist after 9/11, and also the amount of money that people are being bilked out of. Do you have a handle on that at all?
In terms of the amount of money people are losing in charitable donations, I don't think I have a figure for that. I can tell you, in one of our recent actions that we had not just FTC actions, but law enforcement cases in every single state. So it is a pretty widespread issue.
Hey, and Carol, let me ask you about this because in a lot of these cases where especially the elderly are scammed, sometimes you can look at that and say, why didn't they know better? Why couldn't they figure that out? But a lot of these are just elaborate scams that seem so real.
Yes, exactly. And this is one of the things I really want people to know, that these scammers are very professional.
Yep.
They know what they're doing. They know exactly how to appeal to our emotions, to create a sense of urgency, maybe even a panic at some point, how to pressure you exactly the right way. And they can get you on the phone or they can send an email and sort of create a whole scenario that you're not exactly sure, is this true, is it not, is there something happening with my child, is there something, is something, my computer going to blow up because the software is wrong, is somebody going to hack my computer? And they just want to throw you off just long enough so that you have to stop and question. And in that little space where you're not exactly sure, they want to pressure you to send them money or to reveal your personal information right away. Where most of the time, if people know enough to stop, take a breath, think about it, maybe talk to somebody that they trust before they do anything, then they're going to realize themselves, this doesn't sound right, I'm just going to hang up.
Carol, listen, thank you for your time. We're going to talk to Tracy here in just a little bit. She's the senior staff attorney in the Bureau of Consumer Protection's Northwest Regional Office, and we really appreciate the input. It's obviously an important topic and something that needs to stop.
It certainly does. We're doing our best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was Carol, and now Tracy Thorleifson is on with us. Tracy is the senior staff attorney in the Bureau of Consumer Protection's Northwest Regional Office, and she's more about the charities that we were talking about. Not so much the scams, but the charities. Tracy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Now, is that right? Now you handle more of the charity situations?
Well, so at the Federal Trade Commission, I work on cases targeting sham charities that lie to consumers about what they do and are, in fact, organized for the profit of themselves or their members, and against professional fundraisers who lie to consumers.
Yeah, you know what? That's a big part of this, professional fundraisers.
Yes.
Because now, doing a show like this, we've been doing this show for 13 years. We get contacted by everybody. I mean, we hear from all the organizations. And I will say, Jerry, there have been times that we've interviewed what we believe is a legitimate charity organization for veterans. And later on, you think, was it or not?
We've become a lot more careful than in years past.
Right.
But there's some, this subject is pretty complicated.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of well-known groups out there that bend a lot of rules.
Yep.
But yet, because of the laws, they're still within the limit of the law.
Well, that's a good point. Tracy, can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, one of the things that the FTC tries to do is we try to educate consumers and donors about how to give their money wisely, so that regardless of whether you might think that a charity was bending the rules or not, for donors it's about making sure that their money is used wisely and to support the programs that they want to support.
Right.
So we have some wise giving tips. We can direct people to sometimes the things are really simple, like just Google the charity's name.
Right.
Google it with the word fraud. Google the phone number. If it's a telemarketing call, pull the phone number from your caller ID screen and Google it and see what other people are saying about it. Check out the charity with the charity watchdog agencies like Charity Navigator or the BBB's Wise Giving Alliance, whose web address is give.org, or Charity Watch. Those three organizations have a lot of really great information. Some of them have curated lists of charities, including veterans charities, that they've vetted, and they can really help guide your listeners to reputable charities that will use their donations responsibly.
Yeah, and this is all a part of the FTC Operation Donate with Honor, correct?
Well, in Operation Donate with Honor, the FTC, partnering with all of the states in the country, launched an education and enforcement initiative targeting specifically veterans-related charity fundraising fraud.
Gotcha.
We announced 102 enforcement actions, and we created tips about giving to veterans organizations specifically. And we have a fabulous video that encourages people to stop and give wisely and focuses on the good that legitimate veterans charities do.
All right. After 9/11, these veterans charities groups sprang up like...
coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah. And they number in the tens of thousands, don't they?
I think that there's a study at GuideStar.org from 2015 that shows that there are tens of thousands of veterans charities. Yes.
Okay. Now, how big is the problem? You've initiated, what would you say, 120 legal actions. I suspect the problem is a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, 102 enforcement actions.
102,
and
okay.
That the problem is there, without question. But there are thousands of legitimate charities that
Sure.
do deserve people's donations.
Right.
So I can't quantify it for you.
Okay.
There's no study of scam charities out there. I can tell you that when we see it, we take action, or we recommend to our state colleagues that they take action, and that's how so many different actions ended up being brought in connection with Donate with Honor.
Okay, so that leads to my next question. How do you hear about them? How does if
how do you
someone
report
thinks they're
them?
getting scammed, what do they do?
A couple of different questions there. If any of your listeners think that they know about a suspicious charity, or they get a call or a direct mail solicitation, or see an online solicitation on Facebook or a website, anything that they're suspicious about, they should complain. And they can complain to their state attorney general's office, to the FTC at ftc.gov. If you need a link to the state office that regulates charities in your state, you can find a link to a directory of those off of ftc.gov/charity. And when you complain, it's super important that you be as specific as possible.
Right.
As somebody who reviews complaints, I can't tell you how frustrating it is to see somebody say, I got a call by this veterans charity, and they sure sounded like a scam. It's like, okay, I need a name or a phone number. I need details about what you were told. All of those things really help us as investigators trying to identify problems.
Yeah, and the real sad part of this, Jerry, especially with veterans organizations, once you've been a victim of a scam, a lot of times you say, I will never donate to a veterans charity again.
Yep.
That's when you pay the price.
Yeah, and the stand-up organizations get hurt.
Yeah.
That is so true. Veterans charity fraud, it preys on people's generosity and on their patriotism.
Right.
And it harms the donors because their good intentions are frustrated. It harms legitimate charities because the donors only have so much money to give, and they've already given it to the bad guy. And it harms the veterans who were supposed to be receiving that help.
Right.
Yeah, that's a problem that absolutely needs attention, and it's great that the FTC is taking a hard look at that.
So if you want to, any of these people that are in violation, you want to turn them over to us so we can administer a throat punch to them, we'll be glad to do it.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we think that our civil actions are pretty effective at stopping the problem.
Well, okay, just to make it official, you are turning down the throat punch.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. All right. We just wanted to make that offer. Tracy, listen, thank you so much for taking the time today. It's great that you guys are focusing on that. And what is the best place for people to find out information on some of this stuff?
Well, you can start with our website, ftc.gov/charity, and from there you can find our giving tips, and you can also find information and links to other organizations, the charity watchdog groups I mentioned, your state charity regulators. All of those will provide information about wise giving and how to make sure that your donations count.
Or if you want to go the other way, you can go to thenationaldefense.com/throat punch.
But in all seriousness, pass along our thanks, of course, not only to you, but any of the staff people involved in shutting these people down.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's great work.
Well, thank you, and know that anybody who thinks that they have been scammed, or if they're smart enough to avoid the scam, but they got the direct mail, they got the telemarketing call, please do complain because we pay attention.
Tracy, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
We'll be right back with the National Defense right after this word from Farmers Insurance. When you're dealing with life's ups and downs, it helps to know the ins and outs of insurance. Farmers Insurance has been sharing practical insurance knowledge for more than 89 years. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Did you know WD-40 Company offers more than just a blue and yellow can? There's a line of high-performance WD-40 brand products developed for professionals that include degreasers, penetrants, and greases. The WD-40 Specialist Greases line includes a multi-purpose grease, a high-temperature grease, an extreme pressure grease, and a marine-grade water-resistant grease. The products are interchangeable with each other so they won't cause cross-contamination issues that compromise performance and effectiveness. Pick up a can at Home Depot and learn more about these and other WD-40 brand products at WD-40Specialist.com.
How do you thank the millions of men and women who have fought so bravely for our country over the years? At the Home Depot, we think it takes more than words. We believe the best way to show gratitude is to do gratitude. The Home Depot Foundation is committed to veterans and their families, improving their homes and their lives. Since 2011, we've invested $160 million to veteran causes and impacted over 26,000 veteran homes. By 2020, we'll grow that investment to $250 million. From simple wheelchair ramps to complete home makeovers, transitional housing, community support, we consider it a duty and a privilege to serve senior, wounded, and homeless veterans the best ways we know how. After all they've given us, it's the least we could do. $250 million by 2020. Doing more for veterans. Doing gratitude. The Home Depot. More saving. More doing.
Home is not just something you can see or touch. Home is a feeling. It's the place where you feel safe to have those little moments that mean everything. At ADT, we believe that feeling should always be there. Whether it's at your house or your business, we help keep you safe so you can have those moments that make you feel at home. Wherever you are.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Today, the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. Why? Eugene, go.
I think because Ford engineers always add new stuff, so the competition can't catch up.
Whoa, Eugene sounds like an expert.
Well, I got a store that sells exclusively bar-raising merchandise, like a calendar with an extra month.
An extra month?
Extrabuary. It has 32 days.
So you can appreciate the new 2018 F-150 raising the bar with available Bliss with trailer coverage. It monitors your trucks and your trailer's blind spots.
How about our new bar-raising poker chips? You can play with them or eat them. So,
The new 2018 F-150 raises the bar with auto start-stop, standard on all engines, and an available 10-speed transmission.
We have sandals with available built-in socks.
And we are out of time.
Huge in Oregon.
This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Driver assist features like Bliss are supplemental and do not replace the driver's attention, judgment, and the need to control the vehicle.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
Welcome back to National Defense. It's Randy Miller, and it's time for another episode of Eye Insights with VSP Vision. Dr. James Winnick is back with us. Let's talk a little round ball. Doctor. The NBA tip-off basketball eye safety. And this is something that I don't, I can remember playing basketball and never thinking about your eyes, but luckily, people are not as dumb as I was, and people are talking about this more. But what are some common eye injuries that basketball athletes face?
Well, Randy, anybody that says that basketball is not a contact sport never played it.
or never watched it.
Yeah, there's an awful lot happening in there. And so with arms and elbows and everything flying around, two major things are going to be just general blunt trauma. So you end up with that elbow to the eye and a black eye. And the other one can be a penetrating injury or, a scratch, a fingernail, finger in your eye, things like that.
Well, what are some tips that, keep these athletes safe from an eye injury? I mean, obviously, protective goggles.
Yeah, protective eyewear is by far the number one way to keep yourself safe. frankly, whether you have a prescription or not. And if you're going to do protective eyewear, that doesn't mean the glasses you wear on the street. Those can actually be more dangerous because some of the worst injuries I've seen have been from the glasses breaking and then damaging the eye. So you want to use specific sports goggle type eyewear, dedicated eyewear for your sport, made out of impact-resistant polycarbonate or Trivex lenses, and especially with kids, because the 1/3 of the sports-related injuries happen with kids.
Yeah, I'll bet. You know, you think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had it right, didn't he?
He was a great role model. It made it a lot easier to try to get sports goggles on kids.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Anything else we should keep top of mind in terms of protecting yourself in basketball?
Also think about performance. There's an awful lot of basketball players that have small prescriptions, especially far-sighted prescriptions. Then that influences your depth perception and your performance. So, first of all, see if you have a prescription that'll make you perform better. Then wear the proper protection to prevent the injury. And if you do have an injury, seek treatment. Don't try to take care of it on your own. It's probably going to be painful, and in most cases, it's going to need some type of intervention before you can go back to play.
It's not basketball, but I used to play a lot of tennis, and I can remember playing doubles against a guy wearing glasses, and when he was up at the net, I hit a ball that hit him square right in the middle of the eyeglasses and broke his glasses. But, if he had not been wearing those glasses, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got the point, so that, Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, Randy, this is great news. VSP is currently a vision carrier for hundreds of thousands of patients through the Federal Dental and Vision Insurance Program, which most people know as the FedVIP program. They're now going to be offering vision care for military families and retirees, and you're going to be able to enroll in vision care coverage during the open season, which is November 12th through December 10th of 2018. And that'll give you and your family coverage beginning in January of 2019. And you can get more information about that if you visit choosevsp.com.
choosevsp.com. Dr. Winnick, thank you very much. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Eye Insights with VSP Vision right here in the National Defense.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Today, the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. Why? Eugene, go.
I think because Ford engineers always add new stuff, so the competition can't catch up.
Whoa, Eugene sounds like an expert.
Well, I got a store that sells exclusively bar-raising merchandise, like a calendar with an extra month.
An extra month?
Extrebuary. It has 32 days.
So you can appreciate the new 2018 F-150 raising the bar with available Bliss with trailer coverage. It monitors your trucks and your trailer's blind spots.
How about our new bar-raising poker chips? You can play with them or eat them. So,
The new 2018 F-150 raises the bar with auto start-stop, standard on all engines, and an available 10-speed transmission.
We have sandals with available built-in socks.
And we are out of time.
Huge in Oregon.
This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
Driver assist features like Bliss are supplemental and do not replace the driver's attention, judgment, and the need to control the vehicle.
Right now at the Home Depot, save up to 35% on appliance special buys. Stop wondering when the best time to buy is, because it's now. Get a GE Appliances top-load washer and dryer, just $448 each. You save over $300 on the pair. The washer has a heavy-duty agitator for a powerful clean on top of the powerful savings. Save up to 35% with appliance special buys at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through October 17th. U.S. only while supplies last. Gas dryer extra. See store for details.
This is the National Defense.